Hello and welcome to Behind the Business with Benedicta. Today we have another special guest, Selina. Selina is the founder of Black Girl Finance, which is a finance and training coaching company for Black women, as it says in the title, related to finance. But also she is the author of Black Girl Finance. So Selina, tell us in your own words what you do.
Yeah. Hi, Benedicta. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm Selina Flavius. I'm the founder of an online platform called Black Girl Finance. We are a financial education, coaching and training company. So what that means is we talk all about money, try and provide lots of hints and tips to mainly Black women, women of colour. My aim when I created the platform was just to make money conversations a bit more diverse and inclusive. So I wanted to, tell our experiences. Hence, I talk about in the Black Girl Finance book, just being from a Black Caribbean background, managing money. And then, we do financial coaching. So we work one-to-one with women. So we provide guidance. We're not financial advisors, and we're very clear about that. But we do provide guidance, signpost people if they need any help and support. And then we do training. So if anyone's a budding finance coach, you can come to us. You can do some of our financial coaching training.
Oh, nice, that's good. So you also train people to become financial coaches. That's really good.
Yeah.
And what was the passion? Why did you start this?
So this is like a second career for me. So I spent a long time working in business development and sales and marketing for a software company, but I always had an idea to do something finance related for women. I remember being in a previous workplace, speaking to a colleague. He was really into investing. I wanted to get into investing, but I had no clue how to do that.
Yeah.
And that just kind of planted the seed. I just thought, okay, well, I don't know how to do it. So maybe there are other women out there that don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Also, I grew up in a household that didn't talk about money as well. So completely, no conversations around it. It was almost like you're rude to talk about it and ask about it. So I just wanted to create a safe space for women to talk about money. And that was an idea that I had, quite some time ago. And then it took a while to feel confident just to launch that idea and to get it going. So between having the idea and actually making it happen was quite some time. But we're here.
And so have you been able to, I think I know the answer, but have you been able to make this like your full-time thing? You don't do it on the side of a 9-to-5. It pays you and, you're able to live comfortably off it basically.
Yeah. So I started the platform. So I created the website and the Instagram account. That's how it all started back in 2019. I was working at the time, so at first it was juggling both.
We all know about that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people that maybe have businesses or side hustles will relate to the fact that there is often a period whereby you have to juggle both. And the beautiful thing is that once you put something out there, you start getting kind of opportunities. And for me, getting the opportunity to write the book, as well as kind of doing coaching and doing events and things like that, there came to a point whereby it was kind of like, okay, can I manage all of this
at the same time,
all at the same time? So I had to make a decision about what to do. So I did transition into kind of managing the business and working for the business solely full time. How
does that feel? I think that's almost every business owner's dream, to be able to basically cross all the way over, not halfway, all the way over.
Do you know what? I think I did it. Sometimes when I think about it, I think, oh my gosh, did I jump too soon? But the good thing for me was that obviously the business is around finance, and I'd been on a bit of a financial journey myself. So I talk about in the book, struggling with money initially for a little while, being in debt and having to tackle that. So when I did actually make the transition, I did have some money saved up. So initially I was paying myself from my savings. I wasn't paying myself from the business. And then it got to a point whereby, how much I was paying myself from the business could take over that kind of how much I was paying myself from my savings. So I kind of had a semi-plan, but it wasn't really a plan. It just happened that I'd managed to sort out my finances a bit. So it gave me the opportunity to kind of take the leap.
So that's a big encouragement to anyone out there who's thinking, can I turn my business? Can I turn my idea? Because the truth is, training and educating people on finance, it's not exactly like you've said you're going to go into property. Everyone, there's certain things that you name and people think, you're going to be a millionaire or you're going to be rich from it. Talking about finance specifically to Black women is not what you would think. I'm going to be loaded from it. And I guess it's a reminder that as long as you are consistent
Yeah.
and you do it wisely. So like you talk about the savings,
Yeah.
a little bit, and I'm sure you were living prudently
Yes.
at that time.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you do it wisely, you can ultimately cross over, and you know, it can become the full-time thing. And so yeah, it's an encouragement to everyone. Did you ever, I guess, you know, it's probably strange to ask it, but did you ever think that it would be as successful as it is? Do you think it's not successful?
I mean, I think with business, you know, things are up and down. So in terms of what the opportunities that I've had, the things I've been able to do, you know, just even being able to write the book, it was on my to-do list when I created the platform, and having the opportunity, having an editor reach out and say, hey,
how did that come
it's
about?
Very random. So like I said, I created the platform 2019, started doing like events, being asked to speak at events, and then I thought, okay, I can try and do my own events. And you know, things have just happened organically. So I had the idea that I wanted to write a book. I'm an avid reader, so I've always read personal finance books, and I've noticed, okay, lots of books out there, lots of books written by, you know, black women in America, not so many published in the UK by black women, and our experiences are quite nuanced and can be quite different. So I really wanted to write the book. So it was on my to-do list, and I started really slowly. So I started putting out just ebooks around budgeting and an emergency fund, and an editor saw one of my books and downloaded it, purchased it. I had it on my website for like $2.99, something like that. And she saw it, she read it, and then she offered me a book deal. So
wow,
yeah, so that's
just
how the
like
book,
that.
yeah, that's how the book deal came about. So that's an amazing opportunity from the business. Being able to, asked to host workshops or be part of panel events for, you know, corporate companies, magazines. I've done lots of great things. TV, I was on ITV.
How did ITV come about?
Again, really randomly. So I was at my sister's house. She lives in Kent. I was at her house, and I just got an email. These things, I got an email, so he was like, okay, can we have as a producer from ITV? So I was like, yeah, okay. And what I usually do, if I get someone reach out to me to do a workshop or an event, I'm always like, okay, fit some time in my calendar. I send them my Calendly, say, hey, can you fit some time in? And then he messaged back to say, no, can we have a conversation? Can I speak to you on Zoom? And then I was like, yes. In my head, I was thinking, because it was one of those days where I felt like, okay, I'm just going to have a down day. I'm just going to have a relaxing day. I've got my laptop with me, but I'm just going to chill. And then, the producer reached out to me, and then it was kind of like, okay, let me just say yes to this. And it's same with the book. Let me just say yes to this. So I said yes, and we did a quick kind of interview, and he brought someone else on just to maybe see how I come across on the Zoom and whatnot. And then by that same day, it was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So I think kind of my message to entrepreneurs is, you have to start, you have to put something out there. And you also have to not be afraid to say yes to opportunities.
Exactly. And they always talk about how, opportunity meets preparation.
Yes.
So you 100%. Have to stay ready, stay prepared. And I think we often underestimate how far a yes can go. Yes. And I'm not saying a yes when the book deal comes, or a yes when ITV or Channel 4 come. I mean a yes every day. I'm going to do this. This is my passion. I'm going to show up online. I'm going to do this video. I'm going to sit here and record this podcast. All those
I need to
yeses.
Follow you recording this podcast. I don't even have a video podcast.
All those yeses, they actually lead to the big yes. I think a lot of people see like, oh, Channel 4, oh, TV, oh, this, oh, that, but it didn't start when you said yes to Channel 4. It starts way back when you are doing it and no one's looking, no one's liking, no one's commenting.
Those platforms, that website. It's a conscious effort, it's intentional. With regards to, like I said, I set up a social media account. I read Gary Vee's book, if anyone's heard of it, called Crushing It, and that was it. That was the book that made me think, okay, social media, this is where you need to be to kind of get going and start. So, created the Black Girl Finance Instagram account, and it was silent. Even sometimes we post things now and there's not hundreds of likes, and it's okay.
Every day is not Christmas.
Every day is not Christmas. And you have to be okay with that peaks and troughs, and you have to learn, okay, look at the analytics, okay, what works, and do things like that. And then also when it came to the website, this year one of our tasks has been to grow traffic to the website, because we've got a blog on the website where we give money tips, and it's like there's no point of having that website there if no one sees it. And you have to really be intentional about what it is that you're doing. Like, what's the purpose of having that Instagram page? What's the purpose of having that website? There needs to be some intention behind it. Whereas sometimes I think in the early days, I just start things because it's like, okay, I see this is what everyone is doing, or we should have this and that. But you have to be really intentional. So
100.
Trying to be more intentional with everything that we do.
Talking about intentional, so you've said how the book deal came about. It came to you. ITV came to you. ITV, you can come to me. But what is one thing or two things that you've been very like, I'm going to go and get this in particular, like I want this, I'm going to go for this in particular? Has there been anything in the business that you've done?
I think
any awards or anything like that?
I mean, we are a British Bank Awards winner.
Yes.
I am a British Bank Awards winner. Did I go for it? No, but I was really honoured to receive that award, and they showed all of the feedback. So why people kind of voted for us.
What was the category?
I think the platform just makes people feel seen. So it talks about just money from a Black Caribbean background, Black African background. I think it just makes people feel really seen and more inclusive. I think money can be a subject that can be very kind of white and male. So I think just creating that place and that space, it just really touches people. It makes them feel like they've got somewhere they can go to talk about money. They've got somewhere they can go to be signposted if they need help or assistance. I'm always, if anyone asks for an accountant, I'm like, okay, Benedicta, my girl. And it just makes people feel seen. They want platforms, so that they can relate to.
And so in terms of like your brand as a whole, so I remember, and there's a few people who I know who have started businesses that have been very like, oh yeah, black this or black that, or this is for black. Have you ever had anyone come to you and say or suggest that maybe you should drop the black? Why can't it just be young girls finance or something like that? Have you had any resistance, and how have you been able to, what should I say, get over that and basically stick to your grounds that it is actually black girl finance?
I mean, I just think I'm a very, like, in terms of how I think, I'm very direct and down the line. So when thinking of a name, I'm not, I know I've written a book, I do certain things, you'd think I was creative, but that's not, So for me, Black Girl Finance just fit the brief of what I was going to do at the time. And it's given me opportunities. I don't think I would have got the book deal if maybe the platform was called something else, or maybe I would. I know that there are a lot of black women who have book deals and are getting book deals, and it's amazing to see, like, all of these money books. At the same time, it gets me into certain rooms,
by being black girl finance.
But being very, geared towards women, by being very geared towards the community. So it works for me. Have I been asked that question? Absolutely, yes. Even at our Black Girl Finance Festival event, there was someone talking about, okay, what about boys? Is there something for black boys? And the lovely person who asked that question in the audience was saying, we should do it. And because the person I was on the panel with, her, Davinia Tomlinson, she was saying, we were both kind of talking about that. And she was saying, sometimes you just don't feel qualified. But that person was like, no, just do it anyway. So it's food for thought. But no, I mean, I've had amazing opportunities, even called Black Girl Finance. So
it shouldn't be an issue.
I don't know. I don't think it's been an issue, a problem for me. I think it's opened certain doors. If some people Google women, diversity, I'd probably come up, which is it's not a bad thing.
That's good. And I want to talk about, because you talked about the Black Girl Finance Festival. So Black Girl Finance Festival is like your annual big event held in the week of Women's Day.
International Women's Day.
Or International Women's Week, because I think you do it on the Saturday. Amazing. And you bring loads of people to speak. And I've been privileged to be on
you
your
were amazing. I was
panel.
so sad that I was in the other room curating that talk. I was so sad I couldn't come in, but I was just so happy that so many people took so much away from your
from
talk
the session.
Yeah.
So I really encourage anyone who hasn't heard about that to go into that. But I want to talk about getting sponsors, because I know you were sponsored by, was it Scottish Widows?
Scottish Widow.
And I think you've had other sponsorships along the line potentially.
Yeah.
How have you gone about getting those, and how much of a difference do they make to you and your business?
Yeah, so sponsorship, particularly for doing events, even at some stage we had a sponsor for the podcast. I mean, for me, in the instance of the podcast, it's a way of monetizing the podcast. In the instance when it comes to putting on events, it just means that we could put on great events. And do
you apply for those sponsorships, or how do they come?
So how it worked was the podcast sponsorship, someone approached us to do it. Cool. And then for the event sponsorship, it was a bit of both. So I had a connection with somebody, a lady from Coldar PR, amazing organisation, amazing company. And it just so happened that I was speaking to, they reached out to me just as I was in the midst of planning the event. We'd spoken previously about potentially doing an opportunity, putting me forward to do an opportunity with a corporate company, and it didn't work out at the time. And then they had just happened to contact me as I was in the midst of planning the event. So I kind of spoke to them, told them what I was doing. Sometimes it's good to have these catch-ups, these check-ins, speak to people, what's going on. And then they were able to say, okay, we think that we could probably help there. So they managed to get us the sponsorship with Scottish Widows. And then there's a lovely brand called Blue Money, which is like a partner scheme or a susu or whatever you describe, kind of online.
Agile.
App. Yeah, Agile, which is an app for that. And I've known Nina for a little while, and we went out, we had caught up over drinks, and then I was telling her about the event, and then they sponsored. And then there's another platform called Rent to Rent Success, and they sponsored us as well. And how that came about, I really wanted them to come on and speak about property for the event, but they couldn't, but then they still wanted to help and support, so they sponsored us as well. So I think it's just a combination of reaching out, connecting, letting people know what you're doing,
ready, having something that people can invest in. I think a lot of people want investment and want people to say yes to them, but what are you showing? Like, how much have you put in? I think when any sponsor can see how much of an effort you're making, they will be willing to back it up as well.
Absolutely. And I think this time we did the event before. Last year we didn't do the event because I had a personal bereavement, so I couldn't do it, but we had done the event before, so we knew, when reaching out to sponsors, I could say, look, we had such and such amount of people attend the event, this is what we can provide in exchange for your sponsorship. And then also we were already doing the work as well for the event, so we had already got people pre-registered, so we've got an idea, how many people are interested, how many people are potentially gonna come. So the event was in March, and we were planning the event kind of end of December, December, already sending out emails and talking about it and getting people to pre-register. So it's a whole process. So by the time we're kind of speaking to sponsors, they know that actually there's something actually happening.
Exactly.
And what we've done before. So I think that all helped. And
let's talk about relationships in business. So just before we started, we were talking offline about working from home, being on your own. I know when you first kind of started coming on my radar, at least anyway, we were all at home, but you were still able to pull off the event from home. But now that the world has opened, and just generally in business, how much of an impact would you say your relationships have had on your business, and what do you do to maintain the relationships that will take your business to the next level?
So I think relationships are key. I think
definitely.
The countless times that I've spoken to someone and asked them, how did you hear about me? And it'd be maybe someone speaking about the platform in a room. And for me as well, I always am talking about and championing other businesses. I know your business, all of the women that speak on our podcast, on our podcast or at our events. It's all about saying, maybe I can't do this, but I can,
someone else.
I can recommend someone else. And I think that's what happens for me. I was speaking to someone that I'm going to do an event for soon.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, how did you come across me? Or how did you, and it's because I was speaking at another event the week before.
It all links into each other.
It really does.
Yeah,
It really does. There's someone who will be able to, speak about you when you're not in the room. And I think that's really important.
100.
Even on those days where you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to leave the house today, but I've got this event, I'm going to go and network.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. And what would you say is one of the biggest challenges that you faced in business, and how you overcame it?
Yeah, so a couple, because
yes, feel free.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. In terms of challenges, I think the first kind of hire. So, I mean, I don't have staff full time, but I work with contractors, and they're kind of regular contractors that I work with. When I first thought about bringing someone into the business, I started off with a friend, and that just didn't work out. We're still friends, but it just didn't work out. And I think it was a big lesson for me. I didn't have any kind of systems or processes in place. There was no kind of clear, okay, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And then also there's that kind of friendliness. So it's kind of like, okay, if you're not doing it,
question, does business and friendship work? Yes or no? No.
I mean, it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me, although the friendship is still in place, but just the business aspect, when you're chasing something up and it's not happening, and
some stories behind.
Yeah,
my mum,
it's just
my
not,
dad,
it's not,
my cat,
yeah,
my
it's
dog.
just not the same as, okay, someone's gone through an interview process, they've, answered all of your questions, they understand exactly what the brief is. It's a whole
and they're qualified
different
for the
ball game.
role.
And that's it as well. Yes, they've got the qualifications for the role. They've done it before. And you can see
I will
evidence of
personally tell you that I don't think that business and family work.
No,
and
okay.
I wouldn't try it. It's one thing if you're doing it like as in husband and wife doing something together, or parents and child. But if it's like friends, extended family, less likely. The reason why I think immediate family, husband and wife, even though not every husband and wife, or mother and child, mother and son and stuff, why I think that works is because I think you all have a vested interest, right?
Yes.
If your partner is successful, you are going to eat from that, even as a child or as a parent or whatever. But I think when it comes to friends, it's still this kind of, there might be a little bit of competition and jealousy, especially if one person owns it and the other is supporting, depending on the person. And similar thing like with extended family, it then can kind of become they're getting the glory whilst I'm doing the work in the background. And if you have to be a certain kind of person to be able to see your close friend, cousin, or whatever doing well, and what's going on in the background and not feel a certain way about it.
I don't know if there was an element of that with my situation, but I get what you're saying. And I do feel like I've seen scenarios where it's been father and son, husband and wife, and those tend to work a bit more smoothly. I just think having clear, like I say, processes, instructions. Everyone knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing. I think it just works really well. And my team as well, they do get the recognition, they get recognized and things like that as well. So that's nice for them. And they're amazing. I say this all the time. Whenever I speak about the team, I'm like, they're fabulous.
Amen.
So
to good colleagues and good staff, honestly, it takes the load off. It makes being in business easier. And again, I encourage, I've said this in multiple times in all of these podcasts, make sure that you are not doing business alone. This is not it's not sustainable. Make sure you build a team with the right people, and if I'm honest, pray to God for the right people, because honestly sometimes you literally need an angel to drop down from heaven to help you. Any other challenges? You said there were a few.
So there's that. Oh, that was just the first one, wasn't it? I forget. I mean, I like I said earlier, I've been through bereavement. I lost my partner last year, and again, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult to go through loss and still have to work and function and still show up. So again, shout out to the team. If they weren't there, I literally, we probably wouldn't be speaking right now. But they really kind of stepped up and were really willing to, do you need any help, Selina? If there's anything extra I can do, let me know. They have been amazing. So, having good teams, having someone there as well, so that if you need to ever step away for whatever reason, because if the business is just reliant on you,
it will crumble.
Yeah,
when you're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, that's been a challenge, and then just I guess always I think. When you start a business, you want to do a million different things. So there's times where you're just juggling, you're trying this. And I think for me, learning that actually do one thing, do it well.
Yeah,
do the next thing, do it well. Do the next thing, do it well.
agree.
So when it came to doing our event, like I was thinking about every single little detail. And hopefully that showed
Yes.
the attendees every single little detail, because I want to, if I'm doing anything, I want to do it well. With
Yes.
the blog, I want to make sure that it's done well.
Properly.
And just reining in all of the ideas as well.
No, and I think that's true actually, because as entrepreneurs, I think you are naturally inclined to come up with ideas. I think it's in your bones or in your blood or whatever. And also one thing I noticed with business is that once you've done one thing and it's been successful, you're like, oh, I can do the next. I can do the next one. We could do everything. We could do this. We could do that. And so you get so excited, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But like you say, one thing first. Do it well, and then do the next thing, and then do the next thing. One thing that's helped me as well is having help on my team to do different things.
Yes.
So for example, the person who's helped me to do all of this is completely removed from my accounting business.
Yeah.
So, because one thing you can do is shoot yourself in the foot, right?
Yes.
Whereby you now get a new idea, and then you move the resource to do this new idea, and then the original one is still not functioning how it should be functioning.
Yeah.
So you need to plan that out as well, and make sure that you can build on top of, not replace.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if it's not strong enough, the new thing can crumble the old thing.
Yes.
So
I totally
thinking
agree.
about that.
Totally agree. Yeah.
So as we begin to round up, one last piece of advice for anyone who wants to get into your space or just get into business generally, from what you have learned on your business journey so far.
Yeah, I think number one, I mean, if you've got an idea, if God has put something in your heart, you have to go for it.
Yeah.
So the first person that I said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I've got this idea, I'm going to create Black Girl Finance, they were very much like, why do you need to do that thing? Who's going to come to you? And then I, quite honestly, I stubbornly pushed ahead anyway. I was going to try it. Whether it fails or not. Yeah, I was going to try it whether it fails or not. And I can live with that. Do you know what I mean? I've given it a go. I've created a plan, created an idea, and it's not gone too badly so far. Praise God. So I think just having the guts and being bold to just step out with faith and just go for it. And I just feel like in my experience, like you said, preparation meets opportunity. So I think my journey has been one of maybe not always knowing how you're going to get to the end result, but just kind of understanding what the end result is and just kind of putting one foot in front of the other. And also just realizing it's okay to learn as you go.
100%.
A lot of us think that we need to know 100% to get going. But actually you can learn as you go. There will be people who know more than you that can guide you or will step in or just just by God, the opportunity just comes your way.
And then you can go for it.
Yeah.
Put one foot in front of the other. Yeah. Don't wait till the end. Don't wait until everything's perfect. You can do it not all by yourself, but you can do it with what you have. Yes. And learn along the way. 100%. And opportunities will come. We've seen from you that. Yeah.
And other people, other entrepreneurs that I see, it's the same. I mean, there are a lot of people that kind of doing the similar thing to what I do. And they are getting the same opportunities. We're two different people or multiple people. They're all getting the
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So there's space and there's room
for everybody.
Yes,
there's enough room in the sky for all the birds to fly.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. And I look forward to all the wonderful things that Black Girl Finance is going to get up to in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.